Hello again everyone, I'm Jamie, and welcome back to Trick Bricks. We're going to do something a bit different today as we continue our Wild West retrospective series by taking a look at not one, not two, but three sets. Each one is pretty small in its own right, so I figured rather than having several super short videos, I'd combine them all into a roundup. First up, we've got 6712 Sheriff's Showdown. It was released in 1996, contains 28 pieces, and includes 2 minifigures. And it retailed for just $4 in the US, making it a great inexpensive way to get 2 main characters and a horse, as well as some very cool elements, including one of these large barrels, which was a brand new part at the time, developed especially for the Western theme. As the set title would suggest, our brave sheriff is included, and he's given a rifle and a revolver for protection. There's only one version of him across the entire theme, so if you got this one, you got them all. And he's hot on Black Bart's heels, who appears to have some stolen cash from the bank. He also gets a revolver to defend his ill-gotten gain. You can decide who rides and who walks, and although the instructions suggest that this is the sheriff's horse, I think he looks better on a white mount, and this one matches Black Bart so well, I think I'm going to give it to him. As always, the saddle features clips on each side for carrying weapons, and we get the ever-present brick and plate to fill in the horse's back gap for when he's at rest. Besides that, we also get the aforementioned barrel, which is large enough to partially hide a minifig inside, as well as a small campfire and skillet. A prickly bush is also included to round out the scene. And for when tensions inevitably escalate, a bundle of dynamite is thrown into the mix. I have the incredibly compact instructions here, which are of the fold-out variety. Nothing too much to see though, since no alternate builds are pictured. Like I said, for $4, this was an awesome little set. It runs closer to $10 now, used, but I still don't think that's too bad of a deal. We're going even smaller for our next kit, 6791 The Bandit's Wheel Gun. This was available in both polybag and boxed form, with the latter designated set number 6790. Both were identical, released in 1997, containing 21 pieces and 1 minifig. And retail was only $2, so it definitely wasn't going to break the bank. Once again, Black Bart is included, although this time he's wearing a white bandana and gray pants. Maybe that's his way of trying to fool the sheriff, but we all know that's you, Bart. The wheel gun is very similar to the one we saw in our first episode, Showdown Canyon. It features 2 rifles, 2 wagon wheels, the same 1x4 keep-out print included in the bandit's secret hideout, and at the rear a handle for Bart to steer the whole thing around. You're also given a small barrel and the dynamite tile. Again, I've got the instructions, and again, there's not much to them. I do love the background artwork they used for the Western sets though. It definitely brings back fond memories. Obviously, there's nothing super amazing about the Bandit's wheel gun, but for $2, it was hard to go wrong. Plus, it looks pretty nice sitting outside the hideout. And last but certainly not least, we have this very early version of a battle pack. 6707 Frontier Patrol was also released in '97 and has 30 pieces, most of which made up the 3 included minifigures. It only cost $6 at the time of its release, so this was an excellent way to build up your cavalry. 2 of the minifigs are identical to the ones we saw in episode 4, The Bandit's Secret Hideout. The lieutenant, with his fancy blue jacket, blue hat, and white bandana, gets a rifle and a chrome gold bugle as accessories. If you've been watching this channel for a while now, you know I love chromed elements, and the bugle is no exception. And the cavalry soldier. His print looks very similar to the lieutenant's, but has a few slight differences, such as suspenders and a center row of gold buttons. He gets the blue kepi and white bandana, as well as a rifle and a printed dynamite tile. Lastly, a newcomer to this retrospective, and the highest ranking official in Legoredo, the Cavalry Colonel. His goateed face print was shared with some of the Forestman minifigures of the same time period, and again his torso is very similar to the previous 2 figures, but this one features 2 rows of buttons and 2 tiny gold stars on his collar. He also gets this fancy cowboy hat with printed cavalry insignia, a revolver, and a cutlass. And since he's the boss, he rides the lone horse in this set, which carries the printed cavalry standard and a spare rifle, both clipped to the brown saddle. The only other accessory we get in this set is this short, prickly bush, which is far less common than the standard taller version. Unfortunately, the Bricklink order I placed weeks ago that included this has yet to arrive, so we'll just have to pretend that this one is green. I like how if you have both types of bushes, you're actually able to stack them to add some variation to your custom builds. Again, this set was a fantastic little army builder at the time. Nowadays, a used copy is going to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $20, with sealed kits usually going for $40+. And that about wraps it up. If I'm being honest, I don't think any of these are must-haves, but all of them make for nice little desk displays, and there isn't anything here I'd feel the need to skip over if I'm completing the collection. Sometimes, even in themes I absolutely love, like The Adventurers, there are a few sets that I just plain don't like and refuse to buy, but that isn't the case here. So if you're intrigued to buy any of these, don't hesitate to pick them up. Anyway, we're going to be back in a big way in the next episode of this retrospective series, when we take a close look at one of the coolest sets to come from the Western theme, Gold City Junction. If you liked this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. So once again, this has been Jamie for TrickBricks. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care everybody, and play well!